Hey, it's Scout Dennis Garage. How you doing today? Well, we're going to do a quick project in the garage. We're going to make some light mounts that'll fit on the A-pillar of the Jeep. So let's get into this. Alright, so you're going to be wondering, you know, Scott, you can go buy these anywhere. Everyone's making them. The problem is they're expensive, and I don't understand it. It's just a piece of bent metal with a couple holes in it and some powder coat. And I get it, labor, all that stuff. But let's see what I can do in the garage. We're going to start off with a piece of cardboard, and this is just an old box. I think it was Ziploc baggies, and that's really all you need in your imagination. We're going to take this to the Jeep, and we're going to put it at an angle, because angles are just sexy. We're going to bend the corner over the cowl, and we're going to press hard over the bolts to put little dents in the cardboard. And you can see the dents right here. Now we'll cut off that little tab where the cowl is. Now those dents again show us just where exactly we need to drill the holes. We'll use a 3/8 flat washer. We'll double check it to the Jeep to make sure it's the right size, and it is. So we'll head back into the garage, and we're going to lay them over those dimples we put in the cardboard, and we're going to trace around them. Now I should have traced the inside of the washer as well. Instead I decided to freehand it, which probably wasn't the smartest choice. Now we're going to draw a straight edge to connect the two of them. Basically I'm trying to make this, instead of just straight lines, kind of give it a rounded look to it. And as I got into making this, I decided I really didn't like this dog bone look. But here we are cutting it out. Again, this is just simple arts and crafts stuff. Odd little shape we have here. Let's take it back out to the Jeep and see how this is going to work. Alright, so we line up the dimples, and now we're just going to fold down that tab, and that tab is where the light is going to go. Kind of an odd little shape we have here. We're going to lay it flat, and then we're going to take a straight edge and draw that crease on it so we know where our bend point is. Now we're going to trace out where we put the lights on it, but we notice here that that cardboard is a little too narrow, so we're going to have to add to it. And now we're just going to make this a little bit more attractive by adding a cut line and cutting it out. Now we're getting closer for our test fit. Let's put it on. Now I'm not liking how it doesn't look level, so we'll have to adjust that. And you'll notice there that tab is facing the wrong direction. It needs to be facing out. So we got a wider piece of cardboard. We are just basically making a tab for the light. Again, we want it going the opposite direction of that fold. So we cut it out, and that's what it should look like. So let's tape it all together. There we go, taped out. That's pretty much our shape. Double check on the Jeep. Looks fairly level. The tab's pointing the right direction. Check it with the light. We still have some room for adjustment left to right because these are ditch lights. We don't want them facing forward, but we do have that option. Check it with the other side. That doesn't work until you fold that bend point at the other direction. And lo and behold, it works there. So one template, that's all you need. Now I wanted to see and make sure this was going to work, so I had a piece of scrap license plate that I used, traced it out, cut it out, drill it out, now we're going to use a homemade brake and just bend it up and just make sure this is going to work. You may think this is overkill and not necessary, but it actually saved me quite a bit, because as you can see here, this is the finished product. When I put it on, I could not use a wrench to tighten and loosen that top bolt. That fold was too short. So I actually had to narrow up that bar, or narrow up the tab, when I made this one the finished product. So again, I'm just tracing that out, cut it out. Remember, safety third. Probably should have a safety guard on that, and I was wearing safety glasses. You'll also notice here I have two pieces of metal stacked on top of each other. That way I am cutting once and making two items that are identical. Drill it out. And then put it in the press and bend it. The thing I learned on this is cut all three of your holes before you bend it. I ended up scarring up one of the brackets when I drilled it because it was already bent. The chuck of the drill was catching the tab. And you'll see that in the finished product. Cleaned them up, primer, satin black paint. Now here I took just a mouse pad. I wanted to create a gasket to go between the light bracket and the A-pillar just to protect the paint. Couldn't find the rubber, so I used mouse pad. That worked great. And here we go. Started out with the cardboard, went to the license plate aluminum, and now we're at the finished product steel. Time to install them. One thing I would do different at this point is I should have washed the Jeep and put a good coat of wax behind that rubber. Later on in the year I will do that just to protect the paint, and then I usually do that every now and again to protect the paint. With the adjustment in the bend, I'm able to get the ratchet in there, so it works flawlessly. Here it is with the light. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. You have yourself a blessed day. Remember, you fix the Jeep fixes you, and we'll see you in the next video.